Hey friends. So the Holy Spirit is leading me to talk about um, being covenanted when I was 12. So that's a really touchy topic that I don't be like talking about too much, but that's where my trauma actually began. That's where my trauma actually started, and that's where my trauma began. So I want to be really mindful of what it is. So I want you to fill my mouth up, Holy Spirit, with regards to what it is that you want me to actually say and what. So the Holy Spirit is telling me that the world needs my testimony. So I'm just going to shoot for it. So help me, Lord, to only speak what it is that you want me to speak. This is something that I have not, well, I talked about it publicly on the podcast that God had me start like in June, but I've never done like a video format towards it. When I was 12, I was covenanted by blood, like a blood covenant, with this married person. How I was covenanted, this was because of my mother. I was covenanted with this person by my mother when I was just 12 years old. And I used to think that it was normal because when it first happened, when the first time I was experiencing this with this person, I called my mom and I was like, "Hey, this person's trying to have sexual intercourse with me," and she's like, "Oh, that's okay, that's fine." And I'm not doing this or talking about this from a bitter space because I have forgiven her and I've allowed the Lord to work on me with regards to moving forward. So I've been in this healing process for fully submitted to the leading of the Holy Spirit with my healing for the last 2 years. So it's Holy Spirit is leading me to talk about, yeah, get on with it. He's saying get on with it. Okay. I don't need to explain all of that. Okay, Holy Spirit. So, yeah. I called her and I'm like, hey, this person's trying to touch me. This person's trying to like have sex with me. And she's like, that's fine. I was so scared. I can remember I called her and I was like, this person's trying to touch me, and she's like, yeah, that's fine. I was super scared. I can remember now I was looking at myself. I'm having a vision of myself back in that room, back in that place, and I was under this bed, and I was calling her and I was crying, and she's like, it's fine. You can allow him to do what he's doing to you, and is like all parts of me shattered at that time. But I was like, okay, she's telling me that this is okay, so like I can do this and I need to do this. And it was also, there was a weight and a pressure on me as the firstborn and as the firstborn daughter to like be obligated. I felt like I was obligated to I felt like I was obligated to like help. I was paying rent. I was coming up from age of 12 to probably about age 17. I was paying rent. I was paying light. I was sending my other siblings to school. This was money that was from this person. Like I would get checks and all of that. And that lifestyle, she made that lifestyle look okay for me. Like when I got older and I left high school, I started rebelling. I started like growing somewhat resentment towards her because now I am coming to my senses to understand that this was not okay. I was not supposed to be doing this in the first place because I had no knowledge and no wisdom of certain things at that time. So I started rebelling after leaving high school, leading up to probably like 18. So between the age of 16 to 18, I was rebelling real bad because I was I was still in the relationship with the person until I was like, no, I needed to leave out of this. Like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be living this lifestyle anymore. Like, that he would want to watch me. He would like, and this is someone with money, so he would like want to send like bodyguards to watch me, and I couldn't go like certain places. Like, it was like by myself. Like, he would want to send people. It was getting to a point where no, I understood that it was wrong, and under like I was gaining somewhat understanding. I was no getting kind of loosed from whatever trapped or whatever manipulation I was in. So I started rebelling, and then I finally just was like, okay, I just can't do this anymore. And then I just upped and just stopped doing it. And when I stopped, that's when everything changed. Is like, because at one point, remember, I was providing, I was doing all of this, I was making sure that everybody was okay. But at one point, everything, when I stopped doing that, everything changed. Is like, we weren't close anymore, because I'm now what coming to my senses. So I'm no longer under the control of this anymore. And because of that, we had like a bittersweet relationship from I was probably about 17, 18, because now I wanted to live my teens. I wanted to live my young adult life. So from that age up until now at age 28, we have always had a bitter sweet relationship. Like, we were good one minute and then we're off the next. And the thing about it is that Holy Spirit has been teaching me that I was under manipulation, I was under witchcraft, and I was also because I was a virgin at that time when that happened to me. I was blood oath covenanted to this person, and this person was involved in so many things to be able to keep his wealth. And then I understand that it was also a cycle within my bloodline for people to go through that, like mothers to give away their daughters. And I'm like, Lord, like, this has to end with me. So since I was 18, before I had my first child, I have been like praying and asking God to help me to not allow my child to walk in the things that I had to walk into, to go through the things that I had to go through. So hence the reason why I am I believe that I have now broken free from all the curses and all the generational patterns that are in my bloodline. But that's just basically the Holy Spirit is telling me to go more in depth with regards to what happened after I stopped giving her money. I stopped getting money from this man to give her. No, because I stopped getting money from this man to give her, um, I was being more independent. No, I had my daughter, and I was working now, and I could not fund her anymore. I could not fund her lifestyle. I could not fund whatever it is that she wants to do. I could not like pay light, rent, water, and all of that anymore. So she began turning against me. No, when she began to turn against me, she started turning my other siblings against me, and that's how it has been for the last 10 years of my life. I have always been the one to be like the standout person when it comes on to my family. When it comes down to my family, it would be like I'm never a part of the family, because I've always been I thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm the one that they quote unquote call the black sheep or the scapegoat, because I've never wanted to be in a space where I've never wanted to be like them. I've never wanted to be like them. I've always taught different, think different, walk different, surround myself with different kind of people. And I get to understand that I was I was different basically. I was different, and because I was different, I would be deemed as the black sheep. I would be deemed as the odd ones out, and I was okay with being different. Now I understand why I was actually different. Now I was understand why we're always coming up against each other. Why it's always me versus them, and never me and them versus somebody else. It's literally always me versus them. Like every time, every year, me and my mother, there would not be a year that goes by and we are good and we are happy and we are loving. It was always, and I needed to understand. Holy Spirit is bringing, I needed to understand that this was like a generational curse. It was a curse that was upon the family because of doors that they have had opened, my ancestors in the past, that had opened in my bloodline and opened in my family. So I had to like go through 10 years worth of pain and suffering and wounds. I had to literally go through that within a 2 years time frame. Within a 2 years time frame, fully surrendered to God. I had to like heal and talk about some things that I've never wanted to talk about. Touch on some topics. I had to talk about things that make me uncomfortable. Holy Spirit was knocking on some doors within my mind that has been buried for decades, for the last 10, less than 10 years, probably about 8 years. Yeah, for 8 years, there's been some doors that I never wanted to let Holy Spirit in. And for the last 10 years, she had tried to turn everybody against me. Nobody knows the root of why me and her is always back and forth. Why me and her? Because there was this point where it's like, even when I just started my healing journey in 2023, and I would like, I sent her a message and I'm like, hey, I'm going through this healing process and I forgive you for everything that you have, like done to me when I was a child. She has never come up against me herself. She always has to involve people, whether it's her man, my sisters, my brother, other people. Like, she has involved other people, like me and them were this good, and she will call them and tell them all types of things about me. She has involved my father's side of family, and the thing about it is that nobody knows why me and her, like, when she involves them, like, people would look at me as the bad person. People would look at me as, oh, she's rebellious, or something is wrong with her, or whatever the case is. But people don't know and people don't understand that the reason why me and her can't have a good relationship is because, for one, she broke my trust when I was 12 years old. When I was 12, I wasn't living a regular childhood. I was living a childhood so different from others. I was obligated and covenanted with this man to sleep with whenever he wanted me to sleep with him, so that my mother could be okay, so that my brothers and sisters could be okay. And that's something that has damaged our relationship for years. And I remember when the Holy Spirit told me to like forgive her, and I sent her the message. I wrote a letter of forgiveness to her, and she's like, I didn't know that I was like this bad of a mother. Like, what do you mean you did not know that you were this bad of a mother? I'm your first child, and come to think about it, is that all of my siblings saw a different side of her. I am the one that saw like probably the worst side of her. Like everybody else, I grew up and saw how they got treated good, and life was easy for them. But for me, life was challenging, life was difficult, life was hard. This man would come and pick me up after school. After school, he would come and pick me up. So I did not like, I I wasn't living a regular life as one should have been living at that age, basically. So she always wants to play victim when it comes on to like what she has had me go through and stuff like that. She has never genuinely from her heart, like literally genuinely apologize and be willing to change. And the reason why I would call it rebelled against her is because of how she treated me when I was a child. And if your child goes no contact with you and is comfortable with going no contact with you, that says something to you being the parent. It has nothing to do with the child. I was not safe per se because of the lifestyle that she would allow me to live, and she would be like, oh yes, it's okay. My mother was the first one that took me to get my first abortion when I was going to school, and it was because of this man. It was just so much wounds I've been carrying, and now I completely understand my assignment and understand what my assignment is about. Like, a whole lot of people don't know like the in-depth part of it with regards to that is the reason why we have such bitterness and such disconnection between us. So that's all I have for that part of my testimony today. I love you, God love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.